Hi everybody, I'm Sada.
And I'm Fia.
And today is...
This is Rowena.
Oh, yep. Say hi. Are you gonna say hi?
Say hi to the Rosemary sprig. Say hi. Okay, that's the closest we'll ever get to her looking at the camera. She's very into this sprig. Anyway.
Oh god, it got bright. Okay, so today is part 1 of our Norse gods and goddesses video.
Yep.
And
today we're going to be talking about Loki and Thor, which are her deities.
both of them are.
Both of them.
So this is going to be fun. I'm super excited. So, would you like to talk about Thor first?
Alright, we will be talking about Thor.
Yes, Thor.
Thor. The one that everyone sees as Chris Hemsworth, but is actually a ginger.
Hemsworth?
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth
is the god of war, thunder, and fertility.
Duh.
Yes. He is known to be a very, very loyal and honorable warrior. He is the defender of Asgard and Asgard's gods, and as well as Midgard. His strength is virtually unmatched, as well as his sense of duty. He actually has a belt. It's Megingjard. I hope I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm.
Megingjard. And this belt pretty much doubles his strength. And then he also has his hammer, Mjolnir. His body is considered to be the embodiment of thunder, while his hammer, which Mjolnir literally translates to lightning, it is the embodiment of lightning.
Hi!
He is actually 3/4 giant, which is funny because one of his biggest enemies are giants. His wife, Sif, is also considered to be, a goddess of agriculture and fertility, mainly because she has golden blonde hair, which is supposed to represent the golden fields of grains that, she has domain over. His symbols include the color sky blue, mead, hammers, garlic, hearty meats, goats, thunder and lightning, obviously, storms, oak trees, strength, and protection of mankind. He is described as a very, very large and muscular man with a beard. He is also ginger, not blonde. He has a chariot pulled by 2 goats, Tenningsyr and Tenningjast. I hope I'm saying that right. But basically these goats are magical, and you could kill them and eat them at any time, and as long as the bones do not become damaged, they will regenerate and be totally alive and totally fine the next morning.
What are you doing?
Everything will be alright. Anyway, here's my favorite story about Thor. It's called The Bearded Bride. I call it The Bearded Bride. It's my favorite story. Okay.
I love it too. It's great.
So basically, one day, Thor woke up to find a very missing Mjolnir. He couldn't find it. He looked everywhere. He searched everywhere he could possibly think of, and when he couldn't find it, Freya gave him and Loki these falcon feathers that she had. And basically these falcon feathers could turn you into a falcon. Since Loki is very adept at shape-shifting, he used these feathers, falconed up, and went to Jotunheim, which he went there because he figured the giants are the ones that took Mjolnir. He was right. He went to the leader of the giants at Jotunheim named Thrym, which basically literally translates to noisy. So he went there, he confronted him and was like, hey, did you take Mjolnir? He immediately was like, yeah, I definitely took that, and I'm not giving it back unless you make Freya my bride. Freya obviously was like, hell nah. And so Loki came up with a plan B, which basically included a dress on Thor.
I can't. I really can't. It's so great.
So they spared no expense on making the most beautiful wedding dress ever to put on Thor. They successfully disguised him enough to make Thrym think he was Freya. So after a few bumps in the plan, aka Loki has to explain how Freya ate an entire ox, ate salmon, and almost all the meat that they had.
She's a hefty woman. She needed to eat.
You want to know how he explained it? He literally said, she was so heartsick and in love with you and could not wait to be with you for an entire week. She could not eat because of that. And that's why she's eating so much right now.
And he's like, okay, and then goes about his merry business.
And then he goes in to kiss Freya. So he lifts the veil and sees
fucking Thor.
See, the thing is, he doesn't even notice the beard. Doesn't notice it. So he obviously Thor just sits there and glares at him and is like, "Don't touch me."
Oh no.
He's like, so basically he like glares him down, and then, you know, obviously Thrym is like, whoa, she has such fierce eyes. I've never seen a woman with such fierce eyes. So Loki explained this away again by saying how heartsick and in love with him she was, that she also could not sleep, and that is why she looks so like so, you know, the wedding goes on as planned after this dinner. And to hollow the wedding, they put Mjolnir on Freya's lap. And the second that it goes on to Thor's lap, he takes it and he murders everyone at the wedding.
Sorry.
Including Thrym. Not including Loki. Loki gets to live. He straight up just murders everyone and goes home.
Me.
Right? That's like my favorite story ever. That's like
Loki is obviously my main deity, so I get to talk about him. So it's really unclear exactly what Loki was the god of. A lot of people, of course, say he's a god of mischief and fire, and he was like this trickster god. But according to some researchers, it was never referenced what exactly he was the god of. He was never explained to be the god of fire. He was never explained to be a trickster god. He was just a god that liked to hang around the other gods and annoyed them for his own entertainment, basically.
me.
Yeah, right? Which is, like, amazing. So, there's really not much actually, like, said to describe what Loki looks like. Nobody actually knows for sure, but there was, I think, it's not Poetic Edda, it's some other Edda that they had that just described him as beautiful. And back in this time, actually, the Norse concept of beauty was if a man had really well-kept blonde hair. So, naturally, of course, if Loki is described as beautiful, people made that connection that he maybe bleached his hair, which was common back in the Norse times when men wanted to get women. They bleached their hair blonde because apparently girls found it really, really sexy. But a lot of people are like, well, he's a shapeshifter. His hair can be essentially whatever he wants it to be. And that's another thing. You don't know what he looks like because he's always changing his shape. There is never actually any documented description of what he looks like other than he was really, really beautiful. So he could basically be anything. And some of his followers are like, well, he appeared to me as ginger. Others were like, well, he appeared to me with, dark brown hair. And others he appeared skinny, others he appeared buff, others he appeared as animals. It kind of just depends. Like with me, he knows I'm a fan of the Marvel Thor movies, so to me he appears as the Tom Hiddleston Loki. Or sometimes just a skinny ginger. That's basically his description. His symbols are snakes, coyotes, foxes, ash, wood, fire, wolves, cinnamon, rum, fish, a lot of stuff. Basically, he was like this super beneficial, almost spy for the gods because he was this half giant. And he would, go over to the realm of the giants, do some intel work for them, come back and report to them. And a lot of the time he caused a bunch of issues, but he ended up, going and fixing them. Most of the problems that the gods had were created by Loki, but usually he went and came up with some convoluted scheme to fix it. One of the major ones was a giant disguised as a builder showed up to Asgard and was like, oh, well, I'll build a wall within a year and a half. And if, I build it within the year and a half, I get to marry Freya. And of course...
Everyone wants to marry Freya.
Right? Everybody wants to marry Freya.
Except for, isn't she already married?
Yes.
I don't think divorce
she's very married.
I don't think divorce is a thing here. So, like, how are they expecting that? Why did they keep asking?
I don't know. But either way, he was like, I get to keep Freya if I build this wall in a year and a half. And the gods were like, I don't know about that. But Loki is like, oh, go ahead. Let him try it. Go for it. And they were like, okay, fine. So they let him build it. And it seemed that this guy was actually going to succeed. So Loki was like, oh shit, I fucked up. So he transformed into a mare and lured away the guy's stallion. The stallion was like this really, really powerful horse that was capable of creating like, great feats of labor. That's the only way that this dude was actually making progress on this wall. And eventually he got pregnant with the stallion's child and later gave birth to Sleipnir, the eight-legged horse, which he gave to Odin as a gift. Why you would give your child away to Odin as a gift is beyond me, but okay. So Loki had many, many wives and had many, many children.
She got it by herself.
Cute. Don't let her suck on air, though. She will have gas. So, two of the major ones are, of course, Angrboda and Sujin. So, Loki had 3 children with Angrboda, which is Hel, Fenrir, and Jormungandr. Hel was later banished to Niflheim, where she became the goddess of the dead. Jormungandr was thrown into the sea and later became the world snake of Midgard. He basically held the world together. And Fenrir was tricked into being tied to a huge rock.
And then he got mad and bit someone's hand off.
Yeah, but, Tyr did it to himself.
He did it to himself.
So, anyway.
Oh my god, she stood up by herself.
What?
She stood up by herself for a second.
Did she?
Yeah.
Did she just, jump out of your lap for a second?
Yeah, she jumped up and I was like, oh my god.
She's getting there. Anyway,
Sorry.
So Loki got mad eventually because everybody hated him. And nobody was, really accepting of him. So he got really pissed off and eventually became more and more evil. So he came up with this scheme to kill the god Balder. But of course, Balder could only be killed by a mistletoe. So one day, while all the gods were throwing things at Balder just to have fun, Loki decided to give a sprig of mistletoe to the blind god name. Hod. There we go.
Yeah.
Gave a sprig of mistletoe to Hod, and Hod threw it at Balder, and of course stuck Balder and killed him. And the gods had this huge ceremony and funeral for Balder, and of course Loki was not invited at all. But anyway, later he was punished, and the way he was punished is his sons Narfi and Vali were killed. Essentially, Narfi was transformed into a wolf and basically mauled Vali to death. And later, Narfi was killed, and his innards were used to tie Loki to a rock. And the goddess Skadi, which was a giantess basically, hung a giant snake over Loki's head, which would continuously drip venom onto his eyes. And when the venom would hit his eyes, he would, writhe in pain, and that was said to be the cause of earthquakes. His wife at the time, Sijin, would hold a bowl over Loki's face to catch the venom of the snake. And when she would have to dump out the bowl, of course the venom would hit Loki's face, and that would cause another earthquake. So he's basically stuck there, of course, until Ragnarok happens, where he breaks free and eventually doesn't he fight Odin and Loki kill each other? It was something like that. It was one of them.
It was one of those things.
It was one of those things.
Yeah, Ragnarok happens, and then a lot of people just kill each other.
Yeah. So onto his family. Of course, Farbati and Laufey were his mother and father. Farbati is a giant, of course, so half giant, And apparently Loki has 2 siblings that I did not know of. Bylister and Helblindi. I think that's how you say them. But anyway, Loki marries Angrboda, that, of course. Loki and Sijin have Narfi and Vali. And if you're new to this channel and want to see more videos like this, of course, please subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can actually, see when we post and stuff like that. We try to post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, but we've been having a little bit of issues doing that here recently because the charity live stream that we did last week ended up throwing all of that off. So we're going to try to get back in the swing of things here in the coming weeks. It's open to suggestions of whatever video you want us to do, So yeah, have a wonderful night/day and many blessings to all of you. See you later.
Bye.